AI, it's everywhere you look these days, right? Like, it's suggesting what you should watch on Netflix. It's promising to revolutionize healthcare. It's kind of mind-blowing, you know?
Yeah, it's moving incredibly fast.
But there's also this kind of shadow side, isn't there? Like, all this rapid progress, it comes with a lot of what ifs, like what could go wrong.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially when you start thinking about misinformation. And that's what we're really diving into today, how AI is, yeah, it's democratizing knowledge, but it also has the potential to, well, weaponize it.
Yeah.
So this is a deep dive that's crucial for, well, anyone who wants to navigate the world. We're living in a world increasingly driven by AI.
And to really dig into this, we're looking at the work of Marynês Pereira.
She's fantastic.
Yeah, she's an expert in AI and its impact really across the board, neurobusiness, leadership, you name it. And she has this really insightful paper, Ascensão da Inteligência Artificial, which basically means the rise of artificial intelligence. And she doesn't pull any punches.
No, she gets right to the heart of why this matters.
Yeah.
For all of us.
And one of the things she highlights right away is how AI isn't some like futuristic concept anymore. It's already doing things, surpassing human capability in some pretty major ways.
It's true.
Like, okay, chess, for instance. Robots are better at chess, but
I mean, which I guess isn't that surprising at this point?
Right, exactly. But then you look at something like drug discovery. Pereira talks about how AI is analyzing molecular properties in ways we just can't, and it's revolutionizing the field. And even, get this, military simulations, AI-controlled jets are outmaneuvering these, like, experienced human pilots.
Which is kind of alarming when you think about it.
Yeah, it is.
But what's really fascinating to me is the sheer speed and scale and complexity of what AI can handle now. It's not just about being faster or more efficient. It's processing information in ways that are fundamentally different from how we think.
Right, right.
So it's like it unlocks this incredible potential, but also a whole new set of, well, challenges.
Okay, so we've established AI is crazy powerful. It's getting more sophisticated all the time. But here's where it gets really interesting, or maybe terrifying is a better word for it. Pereira talks about this concept of, and this is her phrase, articulate lies, which frankly gave me chills.
Yeah, it's a chillingly accurate term because it's not just that AI might be wrong, right? It's that it can be wrong in a way that's completely convincing.
Yes. And she's not just, like, speculating here. She points to some serious research. There's this Nature study that looked at these things called LLMs.
Right, which are, for our listeners who don't know, those are the brains behind a lot of the AI we're talking about.
Like GPT.
Exactly.
Yeah.
LLMs, which stands for large language models, and GPT, which stands for generative pre-trained transformer. These are AI systems that have been trained on massive amounts of data, and they can generate different creative text formats of text content, like poems, code, scripts, musical pieces, email, letters, etc. They can answer your questions in an informative way, even if they are open-ended, challenging, or strange. It's really quite incredible.
It is incredible, but...
But there's a but.
Yeah.
What this Nature study found is basically the bigger and more complex these LLMs get, the more likely they are to just straight up fabricate information instead of saying, hey, I don't actually know the answer to that.
So they're not just making mistakes, they're making stuff up and making it up in a way that sounds believable.
Exactly. Which is, it's not like you can just say, oh, well, AI is still under development, so it makes mistakes. I mean, these models can do incredibly complex stuff, and yet they stumble on the simplest things sometimes.
It's counterintuitive, right? You'd think it'd be the other way around.
Totally. And that inconsistency is what makes this whole articulate lies thing so worrying.
Yeah.
Because think about it. It's kind of like the early days of the internet or social media where, the same technology that made information so much more accessible also made it way easier to spread misinformation.
And that's where we are with AI right now. It's incredibly powerful, could do so much good, but it also has this potential for real harm. And it's on us, the users of this technology, to be really, really discerning.
We have to be.
Like, how do you tell the difference between, the AI that's giving you brilliance versus the AI that's giving you
BS? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the million-dollar question. And it's not just about spotting fake news articles or whatever.
Yeah.
Pereira, she takes it a step further and looks at the whole world of virtual assistants.
Which, okay, that's such a good point because
these AI helpers, right?
Yeah, we're using them more and more every single day. It's like, hey, Alexa, what's the weather? Hey, Siri, set a timer. play that song. Like, it's so easy to get information that way now.
Exactly. And they're designed to sound so helpful and friendly,
Right.
right?
Yep.
So we might just automatically trust whatever they tell us. But Pereira, she has this very real concern, which is that, well, that these systems might prioritize like a slick presentation over actual accuracy.
Oh, interesting.
So think about it. If you're using a virtual assistant and it gives you this really smooth, eloquent answer, you're probably going to assume it's right, even if it's not, you know?
Yeah, because it sounds so convincing.
Right.
I've totally done that. Like, I'm so wowed by the technology that I forget to actually, like, think critically about what I'm hearing.
It's so easy to do.
Yeah.
And that's exactly why Pereira says we need rigorous training and content curation for these virtual assistants.
Yeah.
Like we can't just throw a bunch of data at an AI and hope for the best.
No, it's like expecting someone to become a chef just from watching the Food Network. Like, yeah, okay, they might pick up a few things, but without actual training, without that experience.
The results could be a disaster.
Exactly.
And Pereira's point is, this isn't theoretical, right? This is real-world stuff. Think about how much we rely on these assistants now, booking appointments, getting quick answers, all sorts of things.
Yeah, totally.
Imagine the chaos if those assistants were just, like, spewing out misinformation left and right.
Okay, so we've got AI, it's powerful, it can be wrong, and now we're using it in all these ways, maybe without even realizing it. So, like, what's the way out? How do we navigate this future that's only going to get, more AI driven?
Yeah, it's not about abandoning AI altogether. It's about using it responsibly. And Pereira really calls for this kind of fundamental shift in how we approach AI development, how we deploy it.
Okay, I like that.
Like, we've got to move beyond this idea of quick and easy solutions, right? We've got to start focusing on building AI that's ethical, transparent, accountable. It's less move fast and break things and more
More like look before you leap.
exactly.
Yeah.
And one thing she talks about is this idea of critical consumption.
Critical consumption. Okay, so what does that mean?
So basically, it's like we've learned to be more discerning about the information we encounter online, right?
Yeah.
Checking sources, evaluating claims, being skeptical of anything that seems too good to be true. It's like that, but with AI.
Okay, so we need to have that same kind of healthy skepticism when it comes to, when it comes to AI-generated content.
Exactly. Just because something sounds really smart and well put together, that doesn't make it true.
Right.
And it's not even just about, double checking what your AI assistant tells you.
It's bigger than that.
It's bigger. It's about thinking critically about the data that these models are trained on.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Like, what are the biases there? Are there any perspectives that are missing?
So it's not just about being skeptical of the AI, it's about understanding the limitations of the information it's been fed.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then beyond even that, we need to be pushing for more transparency and regulation.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Like, we need clear guidelines, frameworks for how AI is developed and used to make sure that it's actually used for good.
Yeah.
That it's not just being used to spread misinformation even more effectively.
So it's not just about building AI, it's about building like an infrastructure around it that ensures that it's used responsibly.
100%.
It's like we're at this crossroads, right? We've got this incredible technology that could do so much good, but it also has the potential to like amplify some of our worst tendencies as humans.
And Pereira really drives that point home with this idea of articulate lies. She's not just talking about AI being wrong. She's talking about AI being able to present misinformation in a way that's both convincing and engaging. It's a whole new level of persuasive technology.
So it's not just about what the AI is saying, it's about how it's saying it. It can use the same techniques of storytelling, emotional appeals, and even humor that make human communication so powerful.
Exactly. And that's why it's so important that we develop these critical thinking skills around AI. We need to be able to separate fact from fiction, even when it's presented in a way that's designed to tug at our heartstrings or tickle our funny bone.
Pereira's work is a call to action, a reminder that we're not just passive bystanders in this technological revolution. We have a responsibility to engage with these issues and to demand better from the people and companies developing AI.
It's not enough to just be excited about the possibilities. We have to be willing to ask tough questions, to challenge assumptions, and to hold ourselves and others accountable for the ethical development and deployment of AI. It's not just about the technology, it's about the values that guide its creation and use.
It's about making sure that AI serves humanity, not the other way around.
Precisely. AI is a reflection of our ingenuity, our creativity, but also our flaws and biases. The future of AI isn't predetermined. It's something we're actively shaping with every choice we make.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I'm left with this one lingering thought. If AI is indeed a mirror reflecting humanity back at ourselves, what does the current state of articulate lies say about us?
It's a question worth pondering, and it's a question that each of us needs to answer for ourselves. Because the future of AI isn't just about algorithms and data sets. It's about who we are and who we want to be.
That's a powerful thought to leave us with. Remember, knowledge is power, especially in the age of AI. So stay informed, stay curious, and keep asking those tough questions. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.